I'm gonna be honest, when people first told me there was an anime I would absolutely love, but it was called My Dress Up Darling, I panicked a little bit. More and more, it feels like people see me as a down bad anime man that only likes fan service. But just hearing the name My Dress Up Darling made my skin crawl. It made it sound as if the girl in the story would just be some plaything the main character used to fulfill his twisted fantasies. However, I'm glad to say I was very wrong. This is, somehow, one of the most wholesome down bad anime. Don't get me wrong, this show still panders to the male audience. Very hard. Extremely hard. Rock solidly. Point being, there is still a lot of fan service. If that's not your thing, I cannot recommend this anime in good faith. However, I believe this anime manages to do best girl Kitagawa justice. While she is down to her bathing suit by episode 2, the fan service never feels too cheap. She isn't stripping down to please our main character Gojo, he's actually mortified throughout the scene. She simply wants to cosplay as her favorite eroge character Shizuku, and he has to take her measurements to tailor the dress. But let's back up a bit. How did Kitagawa and Gojo get here? While My Dress Up Darling is an anime about fan service, it is first and foremost an anime about breaking gender stereotypes. Gojo, and no, not that Gojo, though I wish it was that Gojo, has a strong love for traditional Japanese dolls. He loves them so much, he strives to follow in his grandpa's footsteps by painting and creating clothes for them. However, when a childhood friend takes issue with the passion, he becomes far more seclusive, and through the years, he fails to make genuine connections with people his age. While a semi-grown man being obsessed with dolls may seem strange in any culture, it's important to highlight just how weird his hobby is within Japan. These dolls, known as Hina dolls, are deeply ingrained into Japanese culture. When a girl is born into a family, it is tradition for the parents or grandparents to buy them a set of these dolls. On Hinamatsuri, or Girls' Day, families display a special set of Hina dolls and serve festive food to celebrate and pray for the health and happiness of girls throughout Japan. These dolls are a significant part of Japanese life, but specifically for events celebrating girls. So for a male high schooler to spend his alone time admiring these dolls is a bit strange to say the least. Regardless, Gojo spends so much time grooming these dolls that he did not make a single friend in elementary or middle school. And when his grandpa asks him if he's made any friends in high school, well, it's clear that nothing's changed. That is, until Kitagawa decides to do the most cliche anime thing and slow fall slam into his desk. It was as if she literally fell from heaven to save him. However, Kitagawa is not just your average girl. She's a popular high schooler with her own posse. Gojo is envious of her, as he believes she is accepted for exactly who she is. As a total loner, he sees himself in a whole separate world from her, so Gojo is shocked to see that she actually reports the cleanup duty to assist him. However, it's not until the next day at school that their unlikely friendship begins to blossom. Since his old sewing machine broke, Gojo decided to wake up early to use the school's machine. He didn't expect anyone to show up that early, but lo and behold, who slides open the door? Best girl Kitagawa. He panics, attempting to hide the doll when he nearly drops it and, well, makes a fool out of himself to say the least.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
However, despite this amazing facial reaction, Kitagawa isn't disgusted at all. But I mean, just look at this facial reaction. That is Nagatoro levels of judgment right there. If only I could find a girl to look at me like that. Rather than be thrown off by Gojo's nerdiness, Kitagawa says the dolls are cute and is impressed he's able to use the sewing machine. It is here that we discover that Kitagawa has a secret of her own. She loves cosplaying. Specifically, she wants to create a costume of her favorite eroge character Shizuku. Since both Shizuku and Kitagawa have some serious anime level proportions, it needs to be custom tailored. So, we have a girl that loves dressing up and a guy that loves making clothes, albeit for dolls. Can you see where this is going? However, the reason why this show is so wholesome despite all the down badness goes far beyond a symbiotic relationship of cosplayer and tailor. It's clear that Kitagawa takes a strong interest in Gojo's passion for doll making. She's constantly complimenting his Hina dolls with specific phrases such as, "her eyes are sparkling." While she enlists his help in her mission to become the alt girl of every Hot Topic fanatic's dreams, she also enjoys learning and growing with him. And it's clear that he appreciates it. He even remarks that she is the first person to compliment something he likes. Kitagawa is someone who cares deeply for Gojo, as she wanted to help him even before she discovered his secret. As previously mentioned, Kitagawa was the only person to show up to cleanup duty with him. When she asks where everyone else was, he says that they asked him to do it himself and that he's perfectly fine with that. Besides, he was too afraid to make awkward conversation with them anyway. Angered by his apathetic mindset, Kitagawa replies with one of her many wise lines throughout the show. You need to speak up about how you're feeling for your own sake. And this was not a one-off therapy session from her. After going on a passionate rant about St. Slippery's Academy for Girls, the young ladies of the Humiliation Club, debauched Miracle Life 2, What a mouthful. Gojo asks her if that's a game that girls should really be playing, to which she replies with one of my favorite lines from the show. Should being a girl or boy matter when you really like something? When I first heard those words, I visibly choked up a little bit. Sure, the message is a bit spoon-fed, but for an anime that then proceeded to shove Kitagawa's bikini body in my face for the next 15 minutes, I didn't expect such a potent phrase to be uttered. So often in society, we are judged for the things we like and don't like. Sometimes, it feels as if when you don't love the things that everyone loves, you don't watch the show that everyone's watching, and you don't subscribe to typical gender norms, you'll be completely ostracized. I know I feel that feeling every February when the Super Bowl takes place and I have no idea who the teams are or what is going on. The Super Bowl takes place in I don't even know when the Super Bowl takes place. Point being, there are so many things that people like to criticize. You could be made fun of by the masses for being an anime fan. And then you could be made fun of within the anime community if you're not knowledgeable enough or just started watching anime recently. As someone who just started watching anime in March of 2020, I know that feeling. 2 years later and I'm still in love with the medium, but I'm just a trend watcher to some of you, right? The level of gatekeeping in every community, not just the anime community, is at a point where it feels like you can't like anything without being attacked by someone. Whether it be from outside or within the fandom you want to be in, it feels like it could be impossible to like something for what it is. That's why My Dress Up Darling is such an important anime to me. Both Kitagawa and Gojo are actively breaking gender norms by pursuing their passions. Unfortunately, there are still so many activities and hobbies that are broken into those that boys should like and those that girls should like. These ideas are so deeply ingrained into our society that shows like Welcome to the Ballroom, where a male middle schooler picks up ballroom dancing, are seen as extremely jarring. While Kitagawa is somewhat confident in her love for cosplaying and eroge, Gojo has cracked under societal pressure and hides his love for dolls. Both things are equally as strange, yet one character can thrive within her community because she's confident in who she is. I'm not about to act like an anime that somewhat objectifies its main woman is going to solve gender equality, but any anime that preaches breaking typical gender norms is one I will happily get behind. While the fan service and your guys' recommendations is what brought me to this show, I'm now fully invested in watching Gojo grow through his interactions with Kitagawa. I went into this show with the knowledge that the series was called My Dress Up Darling and the manga is plastic wrapped at Barnes & Noble. Needless to say, my expectations were pretty low. However, I've been thoroughly enjoying the anime, and I mean thoroughly enjoying it, but not for the reasons I originally expected. It's incredibly rare that such a fan service filled show manages to do the female characters justice, but I think that this anime did the best they could given the source material. Yes, the loot shots can be a bit much at times, but I can truly say that I'm into the show not for the anime physics, but for the plot. The actual wholesome plot. Well, that's My Dress Up Darling in a nutshell. While this show's fan service is somewhat tasteful, if you want to hear about an anime that's much more tasteless in its camera angles, check out my video on World's End Harem.